Hey, it's Laurie McNaughton, the founder of Scale Up Business Performance Systems, coming to you again with another episode on building the foundation for a profitable, successful business that grows and thrives even when you're on vacation with a lot less stress and a lot more fun. So, today's building block I'm going to talk about is hiring. Uh, I've mentioned this in videos, past episodes. Hiring is probably the one, well, it's not the one thing, it's one of the main things that will either help you succeed or fail in your business. Having a team that's accountable, having a team that contributes, having a team that works and helps you build systems and processes so that business runs smoothly is one of the keys to succeeding at anything, whether it's a sporting team, or whether it's a business. And it's interesting because I was listening to something this morning about mindset and about attracting the right people, all that kind of stuff. But they were relating it to in this particular conversation, dating or finding your spouse or whatever. Then they said, most people are always in a hurry, or most people are not really clear on what they want, or most people try to shortcut things. And so instead of meeting a whole bunch of people, they meet one or two, and then they end up with something that they wish they hadn't have. And so their suggestion is that you make a commitment to date, like, I don't know, 20, 30 people, because, and it makes sense when you think about it, because when you go out on that many dates with somebody, talk to them and you start to see patterns in people, and you start to see things that, hey, you know what, maybe this is somebody that I shouldn't be hanging out with, or man, out of all these other people that I met, this is spectacular. It, and then I started to equate that to the hiring process, because what I've seen with so many business, especially small business, because small business owners typically don't think about things like this. But and I'll give you some examples because I've seen this happen so many times, different positions, sales position, project managers, that kind of thing, where it was a hire fast and fire slow kind of attitude. And so they, interviewed like three or four people and picked the best out of the worst, if you could call it that. You can't really get a pattern on people when you just talk to so few of people. And so, my suggestion is that, whatever position, first of all, and I know you've probably heard this before, but hire slow, fire fast. Um, if you do this properly up front, you probably won't need to fire people. But obviously, if they, literally can't do the job, you've got to make a decision choice about that. So, you should, obviously, you want to cast a wide net. You want to put as many fish in the net as you possibly can, but then you want to qualify them as quickly as possible without a lot of time. And that's why I kind of like the having a group interview process, the first kick of the can. So, you cast a big net, maybe you get 10, maybe you get 20 people who come in. And basically, what you're going to talk about at that particular point is the vision of the company, the mission of the company, the core values of the company, and where you want to go with the company, and talk about the worst day possible. Talk about the best days possible, but talk about the worst day possible. Like, if somebody is going to be working outside in the rain, don't tell them that they're not going to be working outside in the rain. But tell them what the worst possible day is. You may have a day where you have to work 12, 14 hours. It's not going to happen often, but you may have a day like that. And you know what? There's going to be days when the weather isn't good. You're going to have to work on days like that. And then at some point, then you say, so we're going to take a break. Everybody can go to the bathroom, whatever they need to do. We'll reconvene back here in 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. I'd say 5 minutes. So if you're still interested in hearing more about the position, you come back. If this doesn't sound right for you, then please feel free to leave. So now you've eliminated a whole bunch of people. and you've kept it down to the core. And now you're going to get them to fill out some forms so that you can see how they answer questions and stuff like that. And then you're going to say, okay, so we're going to call back the top candidates. Uh, we're going to call back all of the candidates. For those who are going to be called back, we'll call back for a one-on-one interview. So this is when you're going to dive in a little bit deeper, because now you're starting to see patterns in people. And so if you sit down and you interview 10 people, you're going to see patterns in people. And of course, you want to ask all the right questions. You want to ask questions that uncover attitude. You want to hire people who care, because if you hire people who don't care, you can't make them care. Um, so the point of this whole episode is really for you to create a system so you can start to see who's, fits into your culture, fits into the vision, mission, and core values of the company. The other thing that I say, and I got to say, not a lot of people have done this, but I have had clients who have done this, and that is to have an ongoing hiring process. So every month, you're interviewing somebody. Why is that important? Again, it goes back to patterns, but also it goes to, wow, man, this person is really good. We don't have a position for them right now, but let's keep this person on file because we may have an opening coming in the future. And or maybe they're so good that you're going to find a position for them in your organization. I read that about Japanese companies that they're always have an ongoing hiring process go on, and when they find like A players, I mean those superstars, they find a place for them in their business. Now, obviously, if they got a big enough business, you can do that. If you're a small business owner, you can't. But always remind yourself that your business is going to be growing, because here's the thing: if you're not growing, you're dying. If your business is not growing, it's dying. Because here's the thing: let's just say there's two companies going head to head like this, and all of a sudden this guy over here goes, I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at right now, but this guy keeps going forward, growing, learning more, creating more systems, hiring better people. All of a sudden, you're not even in the picture anymore. So always have to be growing. Always have to be growing. So I just wanted to make this point about hiring people. You can't uh, brush over this and try to do it the easy way, because I know I probably, if I talk to every one of you, you've all hired somebody that you wish you hadn't. And it just sets everything back. Like you take 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. You go through the whole process again. Think how much you hate going through the hiring process, and then think, oh, I'm just going to hire this person. And then next month you're doing exactly the same thing because that person didn't work out. Anyway, hiring is a significant building block in the foundation of building a profitable, successful company that works without you, and needing to be there all the time. And it's a lot more fun and a lot less stress. And everybody, including yourself, your family, and those people who work for you, and their families, and the customers that you serve, and the community that you serve, all benefit from doing it the right way the first time. Thanks for listening. I look forward to the opportunity to work with any of you who are looking to build systems and processes into your business. If you'll see in the link that there's you'll see in the description, there's a link that you can book a 15-minute discovery call. 15-minute discovery call is simply, I want to know more about you. I want to know more where your business came from, where you want it to go, what's holding you back. And I also really want to get to understand you, because if I'm going to work with you, I have to like you. And if you want to work with me, you have to like me as well. If there's not a fit, there's not a fit. Um, the goal is success here. It's simple. My success at what I do is your success. If you don't succeed, I don't succeed. So I'm a little bit choosy and picky about who I spend my time with, and you should do the same thing. Again, click on the link, book yourself a discovery call, and we'll go from there. Take care and have yourself a great day.